Hi, Ray Hayden here, and this video is going to be about something interesting that I found in Google Earth. Again, this is, Google Earth Pro up here, and this is something that I noticed. I'm absolutely looking for something completely different, but I like to go use Google Earth to, research an area before I go there. So know before you go kind of thing, right? And then every now and then I'll see something interesting. And what brought me to this one here was this building, this Gelati Joe's over here. This is a building that if I look at this in 3 dimensions here, let's go ahead and exit out. And let's kind of see if we can get up here. Sometimes you got to go crazy getting out of town there. Let's see here if we get back to this area. It's kind of interesting. Okay, so we're downtown in Lakeland, Florida. This is where this is. This is a highway. Let me hit north here so I can get oriented to where I'm going and what I'm looking at. Here's a lake here, and then there's another lake, Hollingsworth right here, and then there's a highway. And I'm actually looking at this area here, and I'm basically, all I'm doing is looking for a restaurant to go to after I shoot a video. So I have to go shoot a video, and my client said, hey, find a place for lunch. Find us a place for lunch, right? Because neither one of us are from this area. And, so we want to look at this place and find an area for lunch. So I'm using Google Earth, and, I find the place where we're going to be at, and I do a little search on the area, and I'm like looking at things, and I'm like, okay, so I'm looking at this area here. It's an interesting area, and I can go into a discussion about that. It reminds me of areas around the Villages, a retirement area in Florida. I can talk about that later. But they have these little square areas where they have like entertainment and things of that nature and restaurants. So there's a whole bunch of restaurants in here, a number of which my wife, Misdemeanor, had already found that she would probably recommend would be okay. But I remembered which one she had mentioned, and I went and looked at them, and there's a couple of restaurants in there that would kind of fit the bill. And since they're all located in one area, and because it appears to be kind of like these areas in that community called the Villages, I figured that's probably a safe place to go. I looked at the reviews at a number of the restaurants in there, and everything looked pretty interesting, pretty neat, and all that. But let me try to find some of these streets here. I had to pull up the streets. I normally don't. Okay, so here's the deal. I was going over towards this. I was kind of cruising slowly towards this street down here, right? And I find this, and it's right here. This is the building I see, and it's very interesting to me, because it kind of reminds me of a place in Fort Lauderdale that I worked with, at a restaurant near Fort Lauderdale with this very same client. We worked on this other thing. And so I look at this place, and I'm like, well, it kind of looks like it's kind of a submarine kind of thing or whatever. It's got a seashell up here on the front kind of thing, 3-dimensional Google Earth, very interesting stuff, right? So I go down here, and I go to the street view so I can see this thing, right? And, and I go up and I take a look at it, and you see the street view, so you can get, okay, so it's not a place for lunch that I'd want to necessarily go to, but it looks okay and everything else. And I noticed this right here, and I went up a little bit further, and what I do is I see this lady is outside of her car. And I'm like, well, okay, that's interesting. Maybe she's telling somebody they're following each other, come up with a story in your head. They're following each other, and, they're going to make a plan on going somewhere, right? But then I come up to this next image, and she's looking back down at the back end of her car, all right? So I'm like, okay, I got to see. That's an accident, right? Just me working in litigation support. That is an accident, right? So I go back a bit, and I try to see what's going on. So I zoom in, I go back, right? And I zoom in, and I see, well, okay, I don't see that car behind her here, right? So let's step it up a little bit. I still don't see that car, right? Step it up another notch, and we get a couple of notches up here, and I come up, and I'm like, that car is way too close, all right? So if you're the person in this car here back in April of 2018, if you're the person in this car behind this red car, unfortunately for you, your accident was caught on video on the Google Earth car. So there's all kinds of funny things that happen, and this is one of them. This is, to me, the car behind the red car is far too close to them, and I'm pretty certain they hit each other, because why would she get out of her car? So there funny things that you see on Google Earth, from time to time, And let's just kind of inch forward a little bit here. So you see her getting out of her car, right? The car door is open. As far as I can tell, you know, you put me on a jury panel somewhere, and this car rear-ended this car. Now, the other thing I got to tell you is that rear bumper that blends in real nice with the front of your car, or with the rest of the paint job and everything, that is not meant, you know, they backed off a little bit. That's kind of neat. All right, so now I can clearly see space between the cars, but, you know, I'm sorry, but why in the world would she get out of her car, right? It makes no sense. Logically speaking, you know, reasonable foreseeability here. She's getting out of her car because somebody, you know, rear-ended her. So I think that Google Earth absolutely nailed this person coming out of probably the Taco Bell parking lot, rear-ended this red car right there. And there it is. There's your evidence. So whoever is in this red car, you know, on sometime in April of 2018, if your case is still going, this Pontiac, this silvery Pontiac, absolutely rear-ended your car, and it's caught on Google Earth. Just one of those funny things that you see from time to time. I just want to point that out. There's all kinds of funny things. I have a ton of fun using Google Earth for things not, you know, intended, right? So it's like, you know, product liability kind of thing if you study law, right? You know, so using a product not as intended. Google Earth was probably not intended to find this here traffic accident that took place right here in this location in April of 2018, but lo and behold, it did. For my purpose, I was really just looking to make sure that there was access to this highway here, and might as well finish off my purpose here while I found that accident, and make sure that, because I tend to think that my client's going to leave Central Florida area on this highway here, and I just want to make sure that he has access to the roadway. So it looks like if he comes out of the parking lot, where is this place? Where is it that we're looking at going to? Let me see here. It's not there. Here it is. Here it is. So if he comes out of this parking lot right here from this angle, he can get onto the highway here. And then, and this is why, by the way, this is actually why I use Google Earth for things like this. Because there's a number of restaurants in here. There's a hotel in here. I don't know if maybe he's going to end up spending the night there before we go do our job. Who knows? But I didn't ask. But if there's several exits, okay, there's everything here looks to be like there's an exit out of here. To get onto this roadway, you will go under this bridge. You can come up here and turn left here and get onto the highway there. Okay, good, very good. So anyway, so I just want to do some recon for my client to make sure that we're not going to be that far away. We're actually going to be over in this general area here, and then you know, go to lunch and have a nice lunch, have a nice chit chat, and then off we go in our separate directions. So with that, I just want to point out that funny thing. You find funny things on Google Earth all the time. I never expected to see, you know, kind of actually witness a traffic accident, but there it is, April of 2018. There was indeed a traffic accident in Lakeland, Florida, and the Google Earth camera caught it, right? Anyways, that's going to wrap this up. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like this video. Make a comment below. Let me know you came by to say hi. And until I catch... Oh, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Very important. Subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate that. And until I catch you in the next video, take care and be well.